So the journey of life, even in marriage, after agreeing and settling with a person and you'd want to go, the two of you on a journey, it is based on what you understand now. But when you stop learning in the process, you'll find yourself in a separate place, in a different situation in which you know nothing about. And then things will become difficult. So I'm saying this because most of the problems that we are having right now, they are caused by the learned. Because they learned something and then they stopped learning. And the situation that we have now calls for the learning. Just like you look at your profession. The reason why you call yourself a mechanic is because you were taught, you were trained to be a mechanic. And you've known how to do it. And for years now, all of a sudden, the environment is becoming competitive. It is changing. Which means even before you know it already, your profession is drifting away from you. Because suddenly, most of the vehicles now, you can't just start by opening them up. You have to connect them to a computer. And that's something that you never dealt with. You learned every other thing about mechanics except the computer. So you see now, your problem is coming as a result of you being learned, a learned person, and no longer learning. So you can see now what you used to rely on is suddenly being taken away from you. You're now in a different atmosphere where people are asking you, where is the machine? Connect my car to the machine. What machine are you talking about? And yet this is the same area that used to give you money. So the moment you stop learning, even that which you used to rely upon will be taken away from you. You will find yourself hanging in the air and the thing is taken away. So you have to make up your mind that you are going to start learning and then you will continue learning so that you remain on top of your game. Paul also said that when he wrote a letter to Timothy, he said, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word. You have to study in that area if you want to be a champion. If you want to really make it in life, you have to be a champion in that area. So you see now in our time, when it comes to construction, there are so many materials that are coming out now to replace bricks. And these materials are even more durable than bricks. But bringing them here and trying to erect a structure using that kind of a material, you'll have to go through 77 offices before you get an approval. Why? Because you are dealing with the people that are learned. They are no longer learning. They are no longer learning. They just want to stick to that old way of doing things. And yet systems are changing. Principles are changing. The world is changing. So what you learned some 5 years ago might not give you money today. Learn exactly what it is that can give you money today. You don't get money by way of doing certain things. You get money by doing things a certain way. There is a way of doing things that helps you to realize money. So in terms of education, whatever it is that you want to do in life, get as much information as you can from reliable sources. The world is changing. I heard another preacher as he was ministering. He declared as he was preaching, he looked at this member of his church and he said, if I'm teaching, you don't write your notes on an iPad. And he said, that's demonic. That thing is demonic. And the other one kept on typing, and then he went to him and said, how come I'm saying this? And he said, this one is a Samsung. He said, that's the same thing. All of these things are demonic. And he tried to prove his point, and he said, look at these signs. There are these signs. There are signs, satanic signs on those things and so on. This is a man of God. He stopped learning. He doesn't want to learn what is happening. He is now outdated. He becomes irrelevant to the current people. So you have to watch what is happening, because technology is taking over. Technology is taking over. There is something that you know how to do. You know how to do it so well. But there is a gadget that is yet to be released, that is coming to replace you. What are you going to do? I've seen it happening. I've seen certain machines coming to certain companies, and 200 people are dismissed just because of one machine. We no longer need you. So you can imagine if you are now entering into that time where the only employees are going to be robots and machines. And that's the only thing that you rely on. You want to get employed. Something is coming to take over from you, because the world is changing. What else are you adding to what you know that is going to give you an advantage tomorrow? You have to start improving yourself. You have to start improving yourself. So in terms of academics, have a strategy, have a plan. How are you going to achieve what you want to achieve? Keep on learning more in terms of what you are doing. Personally, I've met people that claim to have acquired some qualifications in certain areas. But sometimes it's amazing when you look at what they are doing, the way they do it, you wonder, is this person really informed? That's when you realize these are just the papers. When you look at what the person is doing, you will not even believe that this person is learned. So it's one thing to know what to do, it's another thing to know how to do it.